is Brittany Brammer, and today I'm going to talk to you about something that's become an issue in our country, and this is rising healthcare costs. With costs going up, people are less likely to purchase insurance, and when something comes up, they're just hoping that they're going to somehow come up with the money in the pinch, but they're hoping that nothing does come up because they're not covered by insurance. Well, if something were to come up, one of the ways that you could potentially get around it is with medical tourism. Now, it's not something I suggest because after researching it, it sounds very dangerous. Medical tourism is when people go out of the country to get operations done at a very cheap price. But of course, with a cheap price, you're going to run into all these problems that you wouldn't run into in the United States. One of the first problems is infectious diseases in other countries, such as Malaysia and Thailand, where the people in that country have built up immunity. Now, us tourists who live in the United States and have not built up immunity would be greatly affected by other diseases. And the last thing you want when you're recovering from an operation is to be surrounded by diseases. And that's why post-operative care in these other countries could potentially be very harmful to your operation. Another thing that is not good about medical tourism is that traveling long distances after an operation has been proven to slow down your recovery. And none of us like sitting in a bed and being miserable after surgery. The surgery was bad enough, we just want to recover and get back to our normal lives. Long flights in cramped airline cabins have been a known factor of creating blood clots. Now, no matter where your surgery is going to be, you're going to want to avoid blood clots because you need that blood flowing to that part of the body for easy recovery. Another problem is receiving medical care in other countries may subject us to legal issues that we had no idea about. Now, in the United States, when you're covered by medical insurance, you're mostly covered under some kind of legal liability. And you know the risks, you know what you're getting yourself into. Well, that's not the case in other countries. You could potentially see yourself in a big lawsuit and have nothing to back you up and nothing to help you along the way. And you never know what you're getting yourself into. Another thing is a lot of countries have a very limited legal responsibility. So they're not going to take responsibility for when something goes wrong in your surgery. And if it's a surgery you're not familiar with, this is going to be a huge issue. Not only are you now recovering from what could have been an awful surgery experience, but you're now also dealing with a legal battle. And that does not sound very fun to me. Because of these lower legal responsibilities, that's one reason why they have lower health costs in other countries and why it's cheaper for us to fly there and get this operation done. Also, there are ethical issues that may arise with getting an operation done in another country. While these doctors in other countries are so busy fulfilling our needs, their own residents of that country are not being able to have operations done. How would we feel if a bunch of people came across these and tried to get operations done here and we couldn't get anything done? I mean, you would not like that at all, so I don't really think that it's fair that we do that to anybody else. Also with medical tourism, I think that's really important that here in the United States, it's a long process. And sometimes people may not think that's very good or they don't want that. But you are going to want those first doctor's appointments so they can explain the surgery that's going to be done. You're going to want to know exactly what's going to happen before and after the surgery, what you can expect, how long the recovery is going to take. In other countries, you're probably not going to get that. You're going to walk in, they're going to do the surgery, and you're going to walk out, and that's the last contact you're going to have with your doctor. Because let's face it, after you get back to the United States after your surgery, you're not going to be calling your doctor overseas and paying that $200 phone bill because you want to talk to your doctor. It's really important to research the operations you're going to have. And although I can't make you not do medical tourism, and I hope none of the people in this class right now are thinking about it, I highly do not suggest it. It's, first of all, dangerous. Even though it's going to cost you less money, you're paying less money for more of a risk. Here in America, you pay more money for less of a risk, if that makes sense. So I think it's really important to think about your decisions before you make it, and although I can't tell you what to do, I hope I've given you a little bit of insight about some things not to do when considering getting an operation, whether it be here or in another country across the world. Thank you for your time.